Because we all had the race simulation yesterday, and then we're going to start the 3 days back to back from tomorrow. We're going to do an activation session which leans slightly into the strength side of things. So I'm going to do everything I can just to ease off slightly in the exercises where we're recruiting quads and hamstrings and calves, just to make sure that they can fully recover. Because as always, the intention of core and strengthening exercises is not to give you that fatigued feeling like you've gone in and you've squatted and deadlifted 100 kilograms. It's a case of subtly strengthening the muscles to help your cycling. So as always, if you want to follow the advancements and guide that I give to make the exercise more difficult, awesome. If not, just stop where you feel comfortable. Has anyone got any questions now? If not, I'll do like a thorough Q&A at the end if there's anything that people want to ask. If not, I think we're good to go. I did say bring a few things along with you. I think we'll just stick to like minimum equipment, maybe just use one handheld weight. And we are going to try and get a PB on the sock game at the end, so make sure you've got your socks ready.
So should we have our socks on now, Sophie?
No, socks are off, and I'll explain at the end what we do, John. It's very fun, so stick around as a slight teaser for you. As always, a really nice warm up. So for most of you, it's the first thing in the morning. So I want you just to start kind of stepping out, getting the body moving. This is obviously the perfect time to do any sort of core, because we're activating all of the muscles that we're going to need for today. So turning those glutes on, reminding them how to work, turning on the hamstrings and the calves, making sure that they're supporting our back whenever we're doing anything. Turning on our TBA, remembering that that's what it needs to do to support the back. So slowly just working a bit of movement into your wrists. And then do larger circles with your arms, starting to get those working. Work it into your shoulders, so do a couple of shoulder rolls. And we don't have to go full in for a massive warm up, because obviously this is just a nice core and strength. We're not doing any explosive movements. If you want to lean from side to side, always do that. Probably been sat at a desk this morning if you've answered a few emails, certainly had a good sleep, so just get the back moving, work into some movement into that spine, into that QL. Lift up one leg, do some ankle rotations, a bit larger, bring that into the knee, and then open up the hip. So hips always get super tight. Anyone that gets a sore back knows that these hips are the gateway to like freeing everything up. Then we'll do the same on the other leg. So some gentle ankle rolls, work it into the knee, and then into the hip. And then the first exercise we're going to do, I'm afraid nothing beats the one we've done the last couple of weeks. So we're going to go into a dog bird and then some variations of that. So coming down into all fours, making sure the wrists are stacked nicely under the shoulders, knees are stacked directly under the hips. And then we're going to use our alternating arm and leg just to work up and open up and warm up the TBA and the spine. So we'll go with the left arm first and the right leg. And we're going to do 20 of these in total. So left arm out, right leg back and in, and then right arm, left leg, making sure that we're engaging the TBA with these muscles with this exercise. So it's super important that we're supporting our back. 3 with our TBA, using our glutes. 4. So I'm squeezing my glutes to hold my leg up. That's the muscle that's working. 5. 6. This is an opportunity to have a nice stretch as well. 7. Try and touch that wall in front of you. 8. 9. 10. 10, keeping that core engaged, the neck long, looking down, 11, 12, hips level, don't want to be walking around, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Awesome. Now we're going to stay on one side and we're going to do a little crunch. So I want everyone to extend your left arm and your right leg, and then bring elbow to knee and then squeeze your TVA as you come in for 1. Back out. 2. Back out. 3. Give a squeeze on the when you come in. That's so important. 4. 5. Such an easy exercise unless we really tense everything. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. And then we're going to switch to the next side. So right arm out, left leg back, supporting with the glutes, sucking the TVA, and then knee to elbow for 1. For 2. 3. 4. Give a good squeeze. 5. 6. No rocking in the hips. 7. 8. 9. Last one. 10. And then hand back down. Awesome. Now we're going to take it up another notch, and I want you to lift up your right leg in a straight line, flex the foot, and then bend it 90 degrees. And then I want you to pulse up for 10. Tiny movement in the glutes. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're just activating the glute med, piriformis, glute max. And now with the left side, leg out straight, bend 90 degrees, and then pulse up for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Awesome. So we've engaged the TVA, woken that up. We've engaged the spine, the QL. We've definitely woken those glutes up, given the hamstring something to think about. So now I want to come into another exercise which is perfect for working just a little bit deeper into the glutes. So I want you to kneel on the edge of your mat. So we're going to use the edge of the mat to make sure we're in a complete line. So kneeling down, I then want you to slowly put a hand down again on the edge of the mat. Now it's really important that that hand is tracking directly under your shoulder. And at the same time, I want you to stick out the other leg. So can everyone see me? It should look like this. So important parts are shoulder over the wrist, horizontal line with your knee that's on the floor, and then one leg on exactly the same plane. So it's like we're getting squeezed up against the wall. Now you can gently rest your hand on your hip like a teapot, and then we're going to lift that left leg up and down. We're going to do that 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should feel that in both glutes. glute med with the leg that's on the ground, and with the glute max with the leg that's straight out. Now we're going to lift that leg up, and I want you to bend it at the knee, not pushing the knee forward, so we're not doing a crunch, we're still on that same line, and then extend the leg, and do that 10 times. So this is a hamstring exercise. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice work, Erica. 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Excellent. Come back down. Now you should really feel it in both glutes, slightly different areas. So now we need to do it on the opposite side to make sure we're balancing everything up. So all the time with core, we must do each exercise on both sides. You'll find that you've got a lot of imbalances, so this is a perfect way to straighten those out. So let's walk through the steps again. Kneeling down on the edge of your mat, slowly left hand down on the same line as the knee. Shoulder is directly over your wrist. Top leg, which is right leg, points out. And then hand on the hip. So without coming into your back, we want to be pushing those hips forward so everything is aligned. We're going to lift up that top leg, raise it for 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, squeeze the TBA, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Leg down, take a quick breather. Now we're going to go into the hamstring. So leg up, bend the knee. Remember, don't come forwards, that knee's got to be back aligned with your hip. And then extend the leg for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feel it in the glutes, 6, squeeze the TVA, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. Well done, guys. So, I mean, I can really feel that on top of what we did yesterday. You know, these glutes are going to be slightly fatigued, so what we've just done is woken them up, made sure a load of blood has rushed there, which in turn is going to help you recover, because when that blood then flows away, it's going to take a load of crap with it. So we've woken everything up. When we're doing all these exercises, everyone, always make sure you need to suck in that TVA and engage there. We don't want any injuries happening in our back, so we need to protect the spine at all times. Next exercise I'd like you to do, we did do this in the first week, and this is where I'd like you to use either a full water bottle, or if you haven't got that, a handheld weight. And the exercise I want you to do is one that's going to originate from a plank position, and we're just going to be passing a weight underneath us. Now this is really great for helping our upper body strength at the same time as engaging our core, which is fantastic for when we're out of the saddle. So when we're out of the saddle, obviously our core is helping stabilize us. It's what's connecting our contact points of our feet and our hands. And when we're really getting that standing acceleration technique right, we're moving the body from side to side. So it's really important we've got a strong core, but let's also work on that strength in your shoulders and your arms and the ability to actually support yourself. So this is what it's going to look like when we get into plank. Both hands out, won't be a wide plank, wide arm plank, your arms will be together. And then we'll pick up a weight and we'll pass it from one side to the other and put it down. And then we'll swap hands. And we're going to try and do that 20 times. We'll do it together and I'll count through. So let's get in position. So hands slightly closer together than normal. Legs back. Remember, for a proper plank, let's get as low as we can. Stack those shoulders above your wrists. Engage the glutes. Suck in the TVA and lift the weight through once. And again for 2. Now, the idea with this is that we don't rock around laterally, so we're stopping that rotational movement for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway there, come on, well done. 11, 12, minimise that movement, don't rock. 13, suck in the TVA, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. Awesome guys, come down onto your knees, have a bit of the rest, and we're going to go again on that one. So just have a bit of a drink, calm your breathing down if you need to, and that's another exercise that's actually fairly straightforward to do it if you have rubbish form. So if you're rocking from side to side and you're just passing the weight and you're sagging into your shoulders, yeah, it's quite easy. But if you're really kind of trying to suck everything in and make sure we're not rocking around, all of that supporting strength is coming from your TVA, from your obliques. Your lats are working, your glutes are fired up. So it's an awesome, awesome exercise. If you've done it correctly, you're slowing it down, you're getting that control. So for everyone that's ready, let's go again. Hands down, legs out, fire up the glutes, suck in the TVA, and we'll go right hand lift through for 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, keep that bum down, 10, don't sag, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, come on, you can do it, 17, 18, nearly there, 19, 20. Awesome guys, well done. I saw a lot of progression on the screen from last time we did that, which is awesome, so round of applause to everyone. It's a real killer on that TVA, and then obviously the glutes if we sequence it after the exercise we've just done, so well done. I'm just going to take a bit of a breather here, it's really hot in Spain, sorry. The next exercise I'd like us to roll into is again one that we did the first week. So also if you do any Pilates or if you do any yoga, this is a fantastic exercise you'll be familiar with, which will work your TVA and your hip flexors. So hip flexors are kind of that muscle that everyone forgets about, but they're really important for standing, so standing accelerations. Hip flexors help bring your body forward, they're what put you in a good position, and they generally just help out with standing. So position we're going to get into, we're going to lie on the back, legs are bent, and this is the beauty of this exercise is there's so many different variations, and I genuinely mean it when I say stop at the one that's right for you, because what we don't want to do is cause any injuries in the back. So let's get into the perfect position first. So everyone's got a small hollow in the back. That has to disappear. So let's imagine we've got $20 bill underneath the back. It's a very windy day. We need to tilt the pelvis to make sure that that is not going anywhere. That is the position I'd like you to keep your back in for the whole of this exercise. Second to that, I want you to slightly engage your TVA. So that's the type of movement we do when you think someone's going to punch you. You automatically tense up your stomach because that's going to be a lot easier to take. So again, that is how I would like you to be in for the whole of this exercise. Hands by the side. Let me talk you through step 1. Step 1 is hinging at the hips, having the legs 90 degrees, just bringing one leg up, lowering it, and then bringing the necks up. That's level 1. If that's hurting your core or you're shaking, then just stay at that. Level 2 is to do exactly the same motion, but more flowing. So we're going to be changing legs midway through. So as one goes down, the next one comes up. And again, that should be quite slow motion. So one is touching now, the left is touching now, right is touching now, left is touching. Now what's really important, if I just stop here a minute, is that the knee is tracked directly above the hip and that the leg is 90 degrees, because as soon as we bring that knee any closer towards us, we actually have a little rest. So let's make it hard for ourselves and make sure that that knee stays in line with the hip. If you're finding that too easy, I want you to bring both legs up into a 90-degree position, and I want you to push one out straight so it's hovering above the ground, and then bring it back in. And then the other one, straight out, bring it back in. All the time we're sucking in that TVA and making sure that back is firmly against the ground. If that's too easy, I want you to bring your arms into it. So both legs up, both arms up, arms over your head as one leg goes out straight. And then the other one straight. So I want you just to keep doing that. I'm just going to come in and check everyone's doing it correctly, because it's important that we get that motion right. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome, Michelle. Well done. Oh, Erica, perfect. Can tell you you do a lot of yoga. That's brilliant. Well done. Well done, Dawn. Make sure that your knees aren't tracking too far past your hips, Dawn. So make sure that that leg's at 90 degrees. Well done. And same with you, John. That leg that you're bringing in close to you, stop it. Yeah, that's better. Perfect. Well done. And it stops there. Yeah, and raise your ankles if you can, John. Raise your ankles. Excellent. Nice one. Perfect, Robin. Right, let's go for another 20 of these from where you are. So we're gonna go, I'll do this with you and I'll count them in. So if you want to have a little bit of a rest, let's do it now. You've got 2 seconds. 1 second. Right, let's do another 20. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know you're going to feel the burn. Don't worry if you're shaking. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Well done. 4 more. Come on, we can do it. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Bring the legs in. Give yourself a nice hug. Let that TVA relax. Awesome work, guys. That's really good exercise, but it's a real burner. Now what I want you to do is, we've done a lot of work on our TVAs, and I want to just stretch that off slightly, because a lot of back problems can happen because we become very tight in our front body. So let's just go into a kneeling position. Sit up nice and tall. Just feel the stretch. Open up your shoulders as much as you can. Hands up in the air. Interlink the fingers. Turn them inside out. And just stretch. Just let everything relax. We don't need to be holding that TVA in tight anymore. And then if you want to, circle the arms back. Interlink them behind you. And again, give your front body a nice stretch. Awesome. Well done. I want to do a bit of a back exercise. So This is again an activation exercise, but you can also do it enough times and have enough reps that it becomes more of a strength and a conditioning. And it's a variation on the snow angel. So if I just show you now what the motion's going to look like, we're going to be lying on our front, and I want back of fingers in the lower back, and then we're going to lift up, so we're going to hinge from our hips away from the floor, and at the same time bring the arms round so your fingers touch your ears, and then back into the small of your back, and then we'll hinge down. So we're going to do 10 of those. I'll count you through it. This is really important that we do this in a very controlled manner. So again, number one priority is looking after that back, not any jerky movements, and just making sure that we're doing everything in a very controlled and steady way. So let's come onto our fronts to begin with. Back of the hands in the small of the back, and then, like I said, just imagine you've got a hinge in your hips, and we're just going to hinge that front body up, looking down, making sure that the neck is not kind of hyperextending, and then we're going to move the arms to ears, back again to the small of the back, and then lower down. And the whole time that we're kind of supporting ourselves, it's really important that you suck that TVA into your spine. The last thing we want is that spine to be exposed and dangerous. So the whole time we're doing this, we've got to really zip that stomach in. So let's do 10 of these. So let's raise up, engage the arms, touch the ears, small of the back, and then down. That's 1. Up, arms to ears, small of the back, down 2. Up, fingers on ears, small of the back, for 3. You get the idea. For 4. Back down. Up. Is fingers. Back. Down. Up for 5. Halfway through. Well done, guys. 6. Fingers to ears. Small of the back. Down. Up. 7. Fingers to ears. Small of the back. Down. Up for 8. Fingers to ears. Small of the back. Down. Up for 9. Fingers to ears. Small of the back. Down. Last one. Up, 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 up. Everything squeezed in. Fingers to ears. Small of the back. Down. And relax. Just let everything soften. Enjoy just being lying on the mat, letting that spine settle before coming up again. And then we're going to go back into child's pose. So for those of you that do yoga, we're basically just going to sit back down onto our feet, extend the arms out in front, and have a lovely stretch. You should feel this stretch in the back. So if the back does feel a little bit tight, don't worry, we've not done anything that's going to cause any injury. We've just worked that lower part of the back. It's often a place that gets neglected, especially when we're in the gym, certainly when we're on the bike. So it's really important just to add a subtle exercise like that into every core or strength routine that you do, because the back is very important. It does have a number of muscles in there that can support itself. As much as it's great that we're doing everything else, like activating the glutes and the hamstrings and the TVA, the back can still do some jobs on its own. Right, I said it's going to be a shorter session today, so we've just got one exercise left, and that is what I like to call the sock game. So there's a couple of you that weren't here last week. I asked you to bring along a pair of socks. I know it sounds totally weird, but what we're going to do is just basically get into that plank position again. So that low plank, and then I just want you to throw the socks up in between your hands and catch it. So obviously we're going to do that in a plank position. If that's completely ridiculously too hard, obviously you can go onto your knees and do a plank on your knees, but the idea behind this is it's just a fun way to mix training up. I actually got the idea to add this one in from Michelle, who said, you know, we ride our trainers all through the winter, we have rubbish reaction speeds when we get back out onto the roads in spring. What can I do? And this is a great exercise that just kind of mixes everything up a bit. So let's just give it a go. I'm not gonna make anyone do this for a certain amount of time. It's just a bit of fun. Let's see if we can beat the PB from last week. So into the plank position, engage those glutes, suck in that TBA, and then yeah, just give it a go. It's one of those exercises that will take a little bit of a while to get used to. And again, the idea is that you're not rocking around from side to side massively. You're going to be doing that a little bit anyway, but the less you can do that, the better. And if that is too hard, then what you can do is just come up, raise your bottom slightly, either give yourself a rest, and then go back down into the plank again. Oh, I'm not doing too well today. I can tell we did that race simulation. I was doing this a lot better last week. Right, I'm gonna see how everyone's getting on, because this is my favourite part. Well done, John. Robin is an ace at this. Well done, Dawn. I saw that. Oh yes. Hey Dan, you're really good. Well done. There's hardly any rotation in your hips. That's brilliant. Remember, if you need to have a little bit of a breather, either come back into like a downward dog type position, or just go onto your knees. Give it one last shot at beating your PB. Erica, I'm sure you've just done like 100. Well done, Robin. Go on, John. I know you can do it. Let's go for 5. Go on. Oh, next week, minimum standards. I'm going to start bringing that in. Well done, everyone. Stellar effort. Right, so now let's have a tiny bit of a cool down. Well done, everyone. I don't want you to think if you're, you know, if a part of your body is not absolutely killing you and you're not waking up aching, you know, it's not because these sessions are pointless, and it's not because you haven't been working hard. That's not the intention. Remember, the idea behind this is little and often. So, is what we've done today achievable? Yes. Could you go and do it again in another 2 days' time? Yes. What does that mean? It means you're more likely to be consistent. And we all know how important that is. So just initially as a cool down, we're going to come down into that low lunge position. So left knee on the ground, right leg tracking forward, and body up nice and tall, and just slowly lower into that hip flexor stretch. So you should feel that in your left hip flexors. Make sure that the right knee doesn't go over the right toe. And then gradually pivot back into a hamstring stretch on the right hand side. Now if you want a picture of how to be flexible, don't look at me, but just do what you can. And then we're going to pivot again into the same side hip flexor stretch. You could probably go a bit deeper this time. Remember, we work those hip flexors when we're doing those bug exercises, so they need to good love. And then back into your hamstring on your right leg. Awesome. Now let's switch sides. Left leg forward, body tall. Lean into that right hip flexor. You don't want to collapse. Still still want to maintain some structure in your body. And then pivot back, stretching out that left hamstring. Go as deep as you want to. If you want to increase the stretch, and just fold forward. Then back into that right hip flexor again. And then pivot into the left hamstring. Now I want everyone to come into a cross-legged position. If you can't do that for whatever reason, let's have either legs out in front of you or slightly bent. And then just take the arms up. And then just hinge at the hips again and fold forward. Come to whatever feels comfortable and then put your hands down on the ground. And we're just going to hold it there for a couple of seconds. That will start to loosen up the glutes, the hips. So we did a couple of exercises that would have worked those tiny, smaller muscles in your glutes, glute med, the piriformis. And then walk your hands round to the left-hand side. Give yourself a bit of a twist. No need to hold it for too long. Walk them back into the middle, round to the right-hand side. Back to center again. Sit up nice and tall, hands up in the air. And then we're going to stretch down on one side, so right hand down, stretch the left arm over the top. And then back onto the other side, left arm down, right over the top. And then just go between the two, no exact amount of time. Just do what feels right, stretch out that back. Lovely. Now I want you to come onto your back and we're going to do the figure of four stretch or the lying down pigeon. So we're going to take the right leg, cross it over the left and then hug in that left leg to stretch out the right glute. This will probably feel nice after yesterday anyway. But especially important that we've done it after today. Can hold it there a little bit longer because it is such a big muscle. Left leg down, right leg down. Now let's cross the left leg over the right. Bring that right one up towards you. Stretch out the left glute. Both legs back down on the ground. And then come back up into a seated position with your legs bent in front of you, and we're just going to end with a twist. So I want you to take your left hand onto your right knee, look over your right shoulder, twist around as far as you can. And then right hand on your left knee, twist around the opposite side, look over your shoulder. And that's it. Well done, guys. You did really, really well. Hopefully you're feeling all energized, ready for the day, all those muscles activated, ready to support you. I don't know, maybe you're out for a recovery ride or maybe it's just a chill out day, but hope everyone is feeling good.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. I got a MRI today.
Oh.
Bye.
See you later, Robin.
Alrighty, bye-bye.
Bye. How was that?
Thank you, Sophie.
Oh, you're welcome. You were awesome today. That sock one, you rocked.
You're awesome.
No, you did really well on that bug exercise as well. Perfect. Do you do that in yoga a lot?
No, I do it a lot in like just after post ride.
Okay.
Or just my feet straight up in the air and just
Yeah.
go in there.
No, it's really good. You did really well. And Dan, you got the hang of that sock one at the end. I saw that.
It's hard.
Like 30 seconds, that was it. It was really a disaster.
But the thing is, like, that's such a great example of muscle memory or neuromuscular pathways, because it's the type of exercise, genuinely, if you do it little and often, like, you'll be so surprised how good you are in a week's time if you did it every other day, because it's just all these pathways starting to connect up, and that's exactly the same as riding your bike. So it's a really good kind of demonstration of how quickly your body learns something.
It's awesome.
Thank you very much, Sophie.
Yeah, you're welcome. You did well, John.
Thanks. Bye.
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 See ya. Hey, Dawn.
Hi.
How did you find it?
Good. I'm sorry I was late.
Oh,
I was
you're-
still in bed when you texted.
No worries. No worries. You did well. Good.
Oh, nice to see you.
What's the plan for today, Michelle? Are you chilling out? Are you doing a spin or something?
So I am just kind of getting caught up on some work,
Yeah.
but I will not get on my bike. But I am going to possibly plant my garden.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
So yeah, some tomatoes for the summer.
Oh, yes. No, oh, do you not think that they just smell amazing? Like
Yeah.
when they're on the vine?
Yeah.
Nothing beats it. Absolutely nothing. I love it.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Awesome. Well, I thought you did really well. Well done today, and well done for yesterday.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish that I like sort of screwed up my food over the last couple of days. I think I got a little too confident.
Yes.
And I was like cursing myself during that ride because I could feel the difference.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Now I know.
Do you know what? It's something.
I'll like get back on it.
Yeah, and I, don't beat yourself up too much about it, because I still do it sometimes. You only gotta, and our rider types, we're very different from punchers. So, if we don't get our fueling correct, that's it. Anything over low threshold it's not that we can't do it, it's actually impossible. And it still catches me out. I might have, it could be as small as something like an apple's worth of carbs less, that the night before, and that's it. So it is just a learning experience, and as soon as you clock it, it's too late, unfortunately, but at least you know for next time now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it wasn't yesterday's fueling, it was the day before's fueling.
Yeah.
I could see the difference, but I don't know. You're right. It is learning, and I am super sensitive, so that just makes it, I think, a million times worse.
Yeah.
But it'll be fine. One thing that was awesome, though, I did notice that I was able to, especially later in the ride, stand and put down more wattage effectively.
Oh,
and
cool.
I think that I realized that I needed to do it kind of through my hips. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like there was something that suddenly I realized how to do that, and I was able to use more or accomplish better wattage with actually less effort.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense.
To get in a better way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it makes perfect sense, because everything's driven from your hips. So the position that you're on the bike, if your hips aren't forward enough, you can't engage that posterior chains and the muscles of the back of your body. But also, if your hip flexors, and maybe up until you've started to really do some work on them, if they're not engaged and they're not working, or they're just not strong, then they can't force you and pull your body forward. So it makes absolute total sense from both a strength and a positioning perspective. So that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, I was. It was a nice little light that went, oh,
yeah,
this is how I'm supposed to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't been able to do the wattage while standing.
Yeah.
But then I got tired and I really couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But there were some moments that I hit it, and I felt like there were a couple moments that I did it really well. So,
Yeah.
And then some that it was kind of abysmal, but whatever.
Yeah, but it's baby steps, isn't it? It's first, can you do the power? Then can you do the power for the allotted time? Then can you do the power for the allotted time at the allotted cadence? And then after you've mastered that, it's right, can you then repeat that for X amount of times in a session. So, you know, as long as you just see it as you know, taking step 1 of 5, then, you know, you can tick that off mentally. You know, so I almost like, as long as you've done it correct once or twice, that's the hardest part. The easy bit is then just getting stronger and being able to do it again and again. The hardest part is actually just initially getting that position right. So well done.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It definitely, you know, I'm glad Tom is wanting to do more of those guided specific things.
Yeah.
I think that is huge. It is so much better to have somebody there and then you're like accountable and everybody can see you.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of helps.
You're not gonna quickly back down. So
Yeah.
Not as much.
Yeah, and also you can see how much everyone else is suffering. And I think that's one thing, you know, when we're doing these workouts in our garage or basement or wherever it is, we kind of think, oh, we're the only ones struggling. Whereas it's blatantly obvious on these Zoom things that everyone is in a box, everyone's breathing hard, everyone's suffering, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, it's not just me.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and it was good because I could see myself, you know, doing the Zwift and the Zoom. Yeah, you could physically see the people suffering, at least the ones that had their video.
Yeah.
And but on the Zwift, you know, I could see where I had certain strengths that, and other people had certain strengths.
Yeah.
So there were times where I would, like, in the recovery, fall way back, and then I would pass them, and I don't know what algorithm Swift uses.
Yeah.
I would pass them on the standing, so some of that I was doing better than some of the other people in my little group.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
No, that's brilliant. It's really cool. Well, I think we're going to do more of them. It's just a case of working out which events are going to be worthwhile doing. But yeah, expect more of those in the pipeline, definitely.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Well, enjoy the day in the garden. I hope it's sunny and nice and warm.
Yeah, it's not, but it'll be good for gardening.
Yeah, okay, yeah, true. You don't want it too hot, do you? Otherwise you won't get anything done.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, have a great night, okay?
Thank you. See you soon.